Ah, let's have a chat. I've got my tea. I kind of really wanted to talk about something that came up on Twitter that I was having a chat with Blaze Knight as well as Josh, and yeah, their kind of conversation sparked this video because I feel like it's something that we do need to talk about. And the fact is that things need to change when it comes to Power Rangers for what show it sort of is. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, which you're probably like, huh? Let's have a look. What you should understand is that Sentai and Power Rangers need to stop being seen merely as 20-minute toy commercials by basically everyone. And I think that that's true. I feel like the show now is mainly kind of talked about as like a 20-minute toy commercial. Now, if you don't know what these sorts of things are, it's very, very simple. Back in the day of like the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, and maybe occasionally today, we have the entire thing of like, you only make a TV show for kids and stuff like that to sell the toys. Now, a lot of stuff has changed since then. Like, a lot of shows don't necessarily kind of say, hey, we need to make a TV show to sell toys. But Power Rangers has always been that sort of show where, you know, it runs for 20 odd minutes and it's therefore everything is going to be a toy commercial. I do believe that things do kind of change and Power Rangers needs to kind of move past this. There are some shows that don't need to advertise anything. Look at shows like Bluey, most of the Marvel productions, Transformers, DC, anything like that. Majority of the time is, if you know what the show is, they will already have a merchandise range and you don't have to generally go out and buy everything, or the show's not going to turn around and say like, hey guys, look at this new Power Blast that we've got, and you go, oh shit, I'll go buy that in stores. Majority of the time is, if you like the show, normally you go off and have a look if they've got merch. And again, some shows do and some shows actually don't. When I kind of see stuff like Transformers, I instantly know that there is going to be something out there. But then again, I know this because this is the norm. And I feel like now, over a certain amount of years, people expect that you don't have to sell this product. Like, if Power Rangers comes out, you know that people are going to go buy these products straight away, because it's been almost, well, it has been 30 years as the recording of this video, that people are going to go out and buy it regardless. So why does your show have to be a 20-minute like toy commercial when you could easily just move on and go, okay, cool, well, I know that this is coming out, I know that that's coming out anyway, so you'll find them in the toy aisle, so your show doesn't have to reflect that advert or that advertising state like it did back in the 90s or the 80s and stuff like that. With the Marvel and DC stuff, I rarely see anything like the toys coming out for their shows. Maybe it's just because, again, like the UK hasn't really got much of it, or the fact is that the shops that do have it are literally nowhere around here. But effectively, like when, say, a new Spider-Man show comes out, I don't necessarily see a Spider-Man toy. I think the most stuff that I see is online from Hasbro Direct, or that people are doing kind of their own things that they pop up. But majority of the time now, if there's a new Spider-Man show, like the last Spider-Man show that I watched, I think it was the one with Luke Cage, Panther or White Tiger, and Iron Fist and stuff like that. And I didn't see any toys for that brand out here anyway. They probably did make them, but I never really saw anything out for them at the time. And I generally thought, oh, they're making this show for kids because they want to make a show for kids. And again, even if they did make toys, very probably there's hardly any that are going around. Now, again, maybe it's the point where people know about the show, so they know about the toys. And again, this has been a big thing moving forward, that you don't necessarily have to constantly make it to shill out toys for people who are going to buy it. Personally, you know, if they didn't mention anything in Power Rangers or anything like that, I would still buy the merchandise because A, I review it, and B, majority of the time I like collecting it. You know, it's a thing like the Lightning Collection. I enjoy the Lightning Collection, and I'm like, yeah, I want to collect all of this. But again, with most of the other stuff like the Zords and that, you know, I know that they're coming out every single year. So I don't need to be like, okay, force this down my throat because A, I really want to see this. When I think about all the other shows, I don't necessarily see them as, oh, I've got to go buy the stuff. With Power Rangers, I do see it. It's like, oh, hey guys, we've got this new Dino Fury blaster, and they'll use it for a few episodes and stuff like that. Or we'll use this. And it just generally kind of like makes me think, if you've not gone past this sort of marketing, you know, what happens if you just ditched that sort of thing and just made good TV shows? You know, would that up the sales? Would that up everything? Or is it you have to make this so people turn around and go, yeah, I need to buy this product? Because majority of the time when I see these products, they're not out at the time, or they make them very late to the game. One video that I spoke about was, it was mainly talking about why hadn't Hasbro cashed in on one of the biggest things that Dino Fury was, and that was majority of the keys. Now we got little keys, like, you know, that weren't the great, that you would just pop into, like, say, the top of the Megazord for the head, or it would go in the Morpher, but effectively you didn't really kind of go hard on the one thing that sells the entire show, or one thing that is in literally every one, and that's a Dino Fury key. If you'd done the same thing as like Bandai of Japan, you could have made tons of them, but right now, I don't see anything like that, and I think that's a big opportunity missed. And depending on what you're going to go with Cosmic Fury, depending if you're going through the globes or if you're going to be doing something completely different, but you kind of think that you would really market those items now, or is that it? Literally, if you look at any of the shots when it comes to Dino Fury, they're literally throwing it towards the camera. Look at this. This is the fire key that we're going to use. This is the punching key that we're going to use. This is the sprint key that we're going to use. And they throw it in your face. And again, that would be the way that the marketing would work. And yet you've got no product. Now, Japan, they probably didn't do the same thing. I haven't seen all of Rear Soldier. So I don't know if they're throwing the key in the face and going, Dino Fury key or Rear Soldier key, sprint key, and then slot it in the Morpher. And away they go. Yeah, again, they sold every single one every single year. Well, for the entire year, should I say. But again, I don't think that they would have like rubbed it in your face constantly to buy this product. They came out on its own, and again, even with the Gokaiji keys, again going off script, that they used this sort of tactic. Like, they knew that every single key was going to be released, so that they would do it. But again, they did it in a way that, you know, didn't push it. I didn't feel compelled to have to go and buy every single Gokaiji key. After the first few, I was hooked, but majority of the time, it was easy enough just kind of buy every single one because I wanted it for my collection. But I didn't feel like Gokaija was saying, hey kids, you need to buy. That's all you need right now. There are other shows out there. Like, I'm a big fan of the old CW stuff, like The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, all that sort of stuff. And yet again, when I see that sort of show, I see it for pretty much everyone. But they didn't really have much of a toy line. Again, like when I think of a toy line, it's like, oh, the Flash has got a new thing for his wrist to make him like run faster. You know, here are the things that you can add to your clothes. Here's a thing that you can do with this. Yeah, again, I didn't really see anything like that. And occasionally, yeah, you'd see like maybe season 1 figures, but you never saw like season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, obviously, there wasn't that many seasons, but you didn't see that there were like different versions of the Flash that you had to get whatsoever. And if you think that, you know, mainly when you think of those shows, again, I know they're not that great now, but back in the day, they were really, really good. But it was the story that was compelling them to move forward than it was for anything. And I feel like with Power Rangers, even though it feels like it's gone in a huge, like, different way now, I feel like, yeah, it's 10 times better. But again, I don't think that you have to kind of market it for kids. I mean, I don't know what the sales are like for these action figures, if like kids are buying them or the parents are buying them. Most of the time that I see, it's the fandom that are buying these sorts of things. And they know that every single week that there is going to be, or every single season, that are going to be a Megazord, there's going to be normal figures and stuff. But I feel like if you're going to market this for everyone, then you don't need to make a 20-minute toy commercial all the way through. Another show, Sonic Prime. I have not seen any product so far, any toys of this going forward. I've seen Sonic toys out there, but not for Prime, or Sonic Prime, that is. Nothing like that. And again, like, maybe whoever has the Sonic license for toys is thinking, okay, well, we don't need to add this in. We don't need to do this, because if we put a Sonic toy out, people are going to buy it because people like Sonic. And originally, I just think, well, that's video games more than anything. But again, like, people can go and buy. Like, I love the Supersonic figures. If I can find a fig art of a Supersonic or something like that, I'll buy it because I don't see those many toys about. But then again, they don't look like the Prime figures. They don't look like anything from that show. It's just generic, oh, hey, here's classic Sonic and here's modern Sonic, and that's it. And I absolutely loved Sonic Prime. It's a good show to some degree. But again, I didn't feel like I needed to go out and buy toys. I just enjoyed the show. Same thing like with Don Brothers. Like, they've brought out toys, but their main gimmicks every single time has been gears, but they don't use a lot of gears. It's mainly, hey, here are weapons, here is fighting, here is this, here is that, and that is it. Like, I haven't really seen them use that many gears, but here is their morphing one, here's the robot version, and here is the Megazord, and here's the Phoenix thing. But it doesn't feel like they're selling me a product. They're giving me a good show that I am generally really enjoying. And if occasionally they bring out, hey, here's a gear, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy it. But again, I don't feel like Don Brothers is an actual like toy commercial. Yet again, all the way through Zenkaija, I generally thought they were trying to push every single gear to make you want to buy it. I kind of think of moving forward with Power Rangers now is maybe don't write it for a toy commercial. Now, I don't know if that's what Simon and his team are doing. They're writing it for normal and they're not thinking, oh, we need to sell toys. Again, Cosmic Fury could be completely different. Now, it could be every second that they try and push a new Hasbro toy or whatever onto you. But again, I feel like you can move past this toy commercial straight away and see what goes on. Will we get a season that isn't toy dependent? Because again, we've only got 10 episodes and you've got a lot of product to release if you're going to be selling this as a toy series. But that's what I kind of really wanted to talk about. This entire kind of like tweet kind of inspired this video, so yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about it. I'm hoping that we do move past this whole we need to buy everything for toys, because I generally don't think that we do these days. I feel like if you've got a good enough story, whatever product that you put out, people will buy instantly rather than who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. What do you think about this? Let me know down below in the comments, and I will see you later.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。